Almost restarted the stream again. Actually came up for once. Alright, so we're on episode 2 still. Finally getting into the second trial. I still think Desiree probably did it. Okay. Mike's good. Water's present. I didn't use my oral gel, so I don't really have to worry about, not being able to liquefy as I go. October 14th, 9:41 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey, Nick. What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atme's trial today. Detective Atme? They say they're going to try him as Master Mask. Already? That was fast. Well, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial. Red letters I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Well, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. What the hell is going on? Pearls has really gotten into her training lately. Huh. Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. The red letters I know you don't like me. He could be talking to Desiree with that. I'm just saying, these red letters, bro, I'm paying attention. I'm locked in, bro. No one would notice me even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No. I'm just a poor thief. No, wait. That's not right. The thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heist. How were they sending him these, plans? Were they sending them via text message, email? Like, it could have just been Desiree, though. I still think it's Desiree, bro. I could be wrong. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? It's possible. But today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. There we go. Here comes the hard part. Crowd babbling as usual. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war, that's all. What does he mean by that? Does he mean he's just underqualified to be the murderer? I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ha. You need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is a war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. Who is sliding him that coffee, bro? That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. The little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant, I thought they were going to say his name. They did not. Interesting. Very well then, Mr. Godot, please call your first witness. Who the hell is he going to pick for this shit? Larry? I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay, then let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Rondelite, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but I say we just let this shit happen. I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. True? Okay, so we got some payoff for the story earlier. She put a lot of trust in me back then. He's just like you, bro. All wimpy. I have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. You got guts, trite. Stop calling me that. All right, then, Mr. Rondelite, please begin, or please take the stand. Here we go. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set a record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the first nail in his own coffin. Very well. Now then, can I tell you something? Or can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, it's kind of hard to say. Well, I wish I could go home. Just talk about the blackmail letter, bro. Well, I guess we're going to have to present because he won't do it. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. My visit to KB Security. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. There we go. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. You never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. Don't ask him a dumb question, right? 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes. That's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No, actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow. My internal clock was also a bit. 1 a.m. That's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. The blackmail letter I got it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there. It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've got other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. I kind of want to see what he's going to say because it cut it off. Hold on. Hold on. Go back. Let me see. Does it mean you got other blackmail letters? I'm going to pause my stream so I can see if I can read it. Fuck. That was so fast. Okay, can I do like a slow-mo? I'm sorry. Sleep timer? No, that's not going to help. Playback speed. Okay. I'm just going to keep pausing. Fuck, it's too quick. Whatever. It says something about stealing. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? Press harder, of course. That's all we do around here. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money. A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait. I never intended to pay that money anyway. That's not a good look either. Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. True. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. A muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving that than I do. The blackmailer threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me any trouble or anything. Just what are you being blackmailed about anyway? Blackmailer said if you don't have your identity revealed, or if you don't want your identity revealed. I'm sure it was referring to the whole Masty Mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. So I think Bullard knew that Desi was Masty Mask. So he tried to blackmail Ron. I think Ron came there. Desi was there with his stuff, I guess. Got in, killed Kane, and then Ron probably tried to save her by hiding the body inside the safe so that she wouldn't get in trouble. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was Master Mask. Did you notice how they keep saying Miss instead of Mrs.? They got the same last name. You'd think they were married, but I don't know. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. Security chief. You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge, a perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Life after being fired, why was he fired? That's a good question. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money. Well, you see, Desi loves suspended. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security chief, or security team chief, you stole some data and sold it? Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it a secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. But you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. It's a very important fact. Please add that to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. The fuck? Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby, what else? Wasting money, huh? Can we at least know what data he stole and sold, or did he not even look at it? You would have to look at some sort of data that was worth something, right? Just selling data in general, I mean, of course it's going to be worth something, but if you needed a certain amount or a large sum, perhaps, it might be important to know what data he sold. It's not a waste. So Mr. Delight, or Miss Delight, doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. So what statement can we provide evidence on? Because clearly there's some sort of contradiction somewhere. Order him to go there. It's true. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me any trouble or anything. Here's the thing. If it wasn't going to cause you any trouble or anything, why would you go down there? And that's the part that doesn't make sense. But he was worried about them revealing his master, so he had to go down there, I guess. But if you look at the details of the blackmail thing right here, if you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. There's more to it than just... I don't know. Is that what we present? I mean, that sounds right to me. We got 2 new statements, though. So those could be it, too. He was secured until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Okay. It's not really... I don't know. I don't think there's really anything there. And he fired me for selling the company's secrets. Okay. Huh. Maybe he wasn't concerned about himself. It didn't scare him. But maybe it scared baby girl because, you know, it's taking that red ring that he was going to give to her, probably. Right? Ooh, I might be cooking. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared. Because having a certain person find out your secret, oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. A certain person, because he didn't want her to know about it. Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Well, but listen to me. Miss Desi, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Dot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Ooh, Well, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry. What you gonna do? Can't make threats in here, bro. It's like the worst place to make threats. Just saying. Well, it seems... Oh, my dog wants his blanket. It seems my dog wants his blanket. Here you go. Here you go, puppy. Come on. Here you go. Alright. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly was sufficient motive for the murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. Love is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. So I was going to testify about that. We're getting fried right now. At the CEO's office, When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. Now, it's all starting to make sense. I thought Desi was the one who killed. It's Detective Atme. He's the one who killed, because if you look at this blackmail letter right here, it says, if you don't, I'll take that red ring you received the other day instead. Atme has the red ring. That's what it is. Atme is the one with the red ring, so he's the one who's being blackmailed, actually. He probably got hired by KB Security to be a detective to look into the whole Masty Mask thing. But turns out Masty Mask is actually him. And what Ron is saying, he's saying, I stole the data, I did this, that, and the other. He's a big fan of Masty Mask. So Atme actually is Masty Mask, and Ron is just saying what Atme did. He's not saying what he did. He's saying what Atme did. And Atme is the one who killed Bullard. Now it makes sense. Okay. I get it now. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Masty Mask struck him on the head from behind. Now, isn't that interesting? How he did it. So here's the thing that's kind of cool here. The guy who actually did it is pretending to be the victim. The guy who didn't do it is pretending to be the criminal. That's a pretty cool little concept they got going on. Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trank? Don't go easy just because he's your client. Who is sliding him that coffee? If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. He's got that I know what happened face. When Phoenix makes that look, bro, it's over. He's gonna win the trial. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there, pressing. Who was this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and if there were 1,000 of me, and if even one knew, I'd tell you, trust me. He's dodging a lot of our questions, or his dodging a lot of our questions is not helping us with his case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bullard, at the time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. You are not helping me, bro. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remembered being in the daze. Your forehead. Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was fast and a powerful hit. So I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. What? Could you possibly clarify what you were referring to? He was wearing the costume. Why, my Masty Mask costume, of course. Because why would he come there as himself? that would just prove that he's Master Mask. He'd have to be in costume. Wait just a moment. Master Mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I don't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Nah, that's not true. Wait. That's not right. You know, just sometimes things just slip your mind. Huh? My 6th cup of coffee is staring up. Yeah, staring up at me coldly. I don't know why I thought it said starring. It's not what it says at all. Starring has 2 R's. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Master Mask costume. Okay. Why were you dressed up as Master Mask? Why? Because I'm Master Mask, of course. What are you talking about? Master Mask trial is being held next door. I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it was a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. It took a lot longer. What is he talking about? What do you mean by it took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullett's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes. You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable. Why would you tell him that? Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. I get it. Do you mean that Mr. July hid the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright? You don't mean... You knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well... Yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness. Make sure you add this to your testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the Fairweather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh, hey, Nick. If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. So how could he have not done that in 10 minutes? Or why would it be a bad idea for him to do that in 10 minutes? Oh, the buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. Why would he still, and it's a loud ass noise, why would he still be in there for 10 minutes trying to hide the body, knowing full well someone is going to come in there and see him hiding the body. It's a great point. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. Okay. So it's going to be the statement about him moving something for 10 minutes. Okay. Let me save. Be a good idea to save right now. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record of the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pressed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Ron DeLight truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as the buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Ha! Let's just remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. What? As it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser. God damn. That's your boy. Fuck. Who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex-new boyfriend and was anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mrs. Light could have known. Huh. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Fine. Let's hear your theory. So, I'm going to predict, I think he's going to say, no one asked me to predict, I think he's going to say that he thought when he woke up, it was after the murder had already happened, right? And then the person who knocked him out, pressed the button and dipped. And then the security guard would come and see Ron DeLight in the same room as the dead body. He would get it pinned on him. But by the time it stopped ringing, he came to consciousness. And since Larry wasn't there at all to come check on the circumstances, Ron didn't even know the button got pressed and hid the body in the safe. Pretty sure that's how this is going to go. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mrs. Light said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious. So he fainted. That's what Mrs. Light didn't know. That's why Mrs. Light didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what you're trying to say, Mrs. Light was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was then knocked out Ron DeLight and then pressed the buzzer. We're cooking, Phoenix. Let's go. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is objection. What? This is this is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron DeLight is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to press the button. So Kane Bowler sounded the buzzer himself. What's your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene of the crime. At the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bowler who sounded the buzzer? Buddy. I don't remember us having any type of, bro. No. Hold on. Let me look. Because we got the buzzer right here being pressed, but connected to the base and security office, there were no fingerprints on it. So someone pressed it that didn't have fingerprints. And the only person we know who doesn't have fingerprints is Atme because he has gloves. I'm going to go with that. I should probably save. Hold on. Hold on. The defense opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. I almost picked Atme. Because they're kind of giving me a dead giveaway by showing me the silhouette of Atme attacking Ron DeLite. Which they shouldn't have done, but they did that. And plus, the red ring as well kind of gives it away too. Because remember, the blackmailer says he's going to get his red ring taken. I believe this is the piece of evidence of incontrovertible evidence. This is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Yeah, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. So I'm the one who's clueless. The button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bowler was really pressed himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Let's go. We're locked in. Ron DeLite obviously wiped them off. With what? Baby wipes? Why would he? A guard would have come at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. The defendant, Mr. DeLite, was dressed as Master Mask. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have to wipe the button free of fingerprints? But then again, that just proves he might have pressed the button because he has gloves. But his testimony does match the circumstances of him being unconscious. A lot of back and forth. This is intense. Order. It would seem I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? To frame Ron? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? Come on, Judge. What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Huh. It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mrs. Light just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well then. Oh, you have some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call a security guard. They're trying to frame Ron. Why would they not want to call a security guard? The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say that killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, Although, as it turned out, he never showed up because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. That was one letter off from being crazy. Ah, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When the buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Cam Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron DeLite, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron DeLite. If any security guards came running in at the time, they would think that I was the murderer. Exactly. Yes, that is precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron DeLite for the murder. And you're falling for it, Godot. You're gonna hit me with the freaking ray blast from your eyes, bro? Order, order, order. Ha. It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Or wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to have to drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Light's identity, and they also knew that he'd been called to KB security that night. But the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Cam Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Light for the murder of Cam Bullard? And I can't save. Okay. I think it's him, bro. Because again, I'm gonna look at this one more time just to make sure I got this right. Blackmail letter. At the very bottom. If you don't, I'll take the red diamond you received the other day instead. The only person wearing a red diamond is Look At Me. He's the only one. He's the only one who this could have been for. And that adds to my theory of them actually being in the wrong trials. Detective Look At Me. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Look At Me? You mean Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the next courtroom to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Cam Bullard. Order, order. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is more of a serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is a more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Look At Me confessed that there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as well as Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty, Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was still in the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Look At Me's outright, watertight, and unassailable alibi. I think it was unassailable, I'm not sure. A guilty verdict as an alibi. It's pretty crazy. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Look At Me's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, it's assuming that you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Atme's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If he were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his crime, his true crime, Mr. Light will be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? A bet's only good when your life's the ante, up the ante. Got you, Mr. Wright. I believe in you, Mr. Delight. So please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life for this, Phoenix? What was that? Well, straight, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice sounded like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Ha, so that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well this court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Look at me to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Interesting. October 14th, 11:58 a.m., District Court, room number 5. Winston Payne is the prosecutor. He must be having a fucking field day. He's like, I finally got him. I'm finally gonna win a trial. And get the wrong culprit. Crazy. Well, Sir Detective Atney. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atney. You were the one who is the... Look at this fucking judge. Who's the one trying to, the attorney? Who's the attorney? That's enough. This court seems no reason to further prolong this trial. The court finds the defendant look at me. Wait. Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, sir lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this Hauser? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file the accusation against this man, Luke Atney. Accusation? You accuse Master Mask? That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Look at that man's eyes. Oh, yeah, we got you now, buddy. Yeah, we got you. Yeah. So that opens up the next part of the trial. We might be able to do both. Fuck it. I got time before the movie. Let's just lock in. Let's go. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive inside your heart? Nikki boy. Man, I feel so bad. I've been trying to say that she's the one who did it this whole time, and it's not even her. But that would have been really, really interesting. Oh, Mr. Light. Is it true that detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof, or definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lord of the Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atney want to kill King Bullard? Right, who was Master Mask in the Lordly Taylor? Who was there? Because the camera got them, but we didn't get Atney. We didn't see him at all. So who was in the costume there? Are there 2 costumes? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I guess it could still be Desiree in that costume, but I don't know. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Now then, the court is back in session. Mr. Look at me, please take the stand. Well, how do you do, sir, lawyer? Big ass eyeball. I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you a perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Look at me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their verdict, or their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Of course. Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., King Bowler was murdered. Where were you at the time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. Alright, Mr. Atme. The night of the murders speak. Good, I ain't fucking with him at all, bro. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. I was still in the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Yeah, I just figured it out. Okay. I just put two and two together. There's another costume at Ron's house that he has up on his wall. Desiree must have worn that costume and snuck in somehow. While Ron was at KP Security. Because if you think about it, when Ron was being interrogated, he still had the costume on, just without the mask. And when we went to visit Desiree talking to her, the costume was still hanging up in the background. So there's two costumes. There you go. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all a part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Yes, he can. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Fuck no. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. That is not your line, and I hope she comes in here and whips your ass. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Let's go. Lock in. I was still in the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed, it is. Well, how does this prove that this is him? Because we can't see him. He's wearing the costume. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Master Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Are you saying that this is not in fact Look at me? That it could be an accomplice dressed as Master Mask to create an alibi? Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Oh, shit. No, I don't think he had an accomplice. I don't think he had an accomplice. I don't think this was intentional. If Luke Adamy was at KB Security during the murder, then the mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. But right now, I have no idea who it is. I don't have any idea right now either. Basic objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. Okay. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Okay, how did you prepare then? Tell me. Yeah, bozo. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. I sent the calling card to Lord Taylor, or you sent the calling card to Lord Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean that you sent out the card after you began your security watch then. Watch, right? Hold on, let me make sure my mic is still working. Yeah, we're good. Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. I like how I don't have to hold the controller in my hand to play this game. Feels great. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Admiral was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordy Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Yeah, why would he want to damage his reputation intentionally? It's goofy. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence right here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. No, the fuck we don't. Why would he? If he's you know what I mean? Why would he want to get caught? You set the camera up, and then you tried to steal right in front of the camera. And then now you're like, yeah, that's me. Come on, dog. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody. Whoops. It looks like I better gather more information for now. If it's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph, come now, is all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lorelei Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lorelei Taylor's staff that printed the picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way the picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Okay. How the fuck am I supposed to prove this shit? The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned to be my witness. He's talking about this. No. This one right here. I almost said present by accident. Huh. You know what's weird about this photo? Because, let me go back. Because we got this box right here. Is it still here? The sacred urn. There's the box. It's got pink paint on it. Okay. Now she dropped it beforehand, and then she put it back together, and then put it back in the box. Right? Okay. Let's look at this photo. I don't see any pink stuff on it, but I do see that the spot where it got dropped, you still see that little right angle there on the ground. So that's still there. And then on top of that, there was a statue that was blocking that, but it got moved. I'm going to try the photo. Oh, shit. Fuck. So it wasn't this. Okay, it's not the photo itself. I didn't save. I should probably save now, though. Okay. What's up, dude? Gumball. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it, the very thing that proves I committed the crime, okay? The very thing that proves... He said he needed more evidence to press this. Surely even you understand by now. Well, Taylor provided the camera, there's no way I could have tampered with it. Which means I cannot have killed King Bullard unless I had an accomplice. This wasn't here before. Okay. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's simply something strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well. Let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? Probably like right around this area, right? Right? Because the statue's not there. I would say the box, but the statue's supposed to be here. The funny part is right here. Why this? This is a blood stain. Blood? Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that. From blood to peaches, the judge really loves going on his wild tangents. I'm glad I'm not the judge. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. True. It's not even slightly moved out of the way. It's just completely gone. Well, Mr. Wright? What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? The statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime afternoon, the gold statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. We should have got an affidavit for that because we're just going based off of her word. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there. Hold on. And if you look at the photo, it doesn't have a date, it just has a time. There's no date though. So he got a point. But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. That's fucked up, Phoenix. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. I'm struggling. Ha! In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? That's a good question, yeah. I mean, it wasn't really in the way, was it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? So we got to go to profiles. I think he moved it. I think Luke moved it. Him right here. He moved it. Okay. So maybe he had like a mock costume and he moved it and then took the picture of him holding the box to be like, yeah, I was here. I was the Nasty Mask this whole time. I don't know. Fuck it. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Adney. Okay, I was right. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. True. That is indeed very simple. However, I would want to move a heavy gold statue. The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Wright, the reason the witness have to move the statue. The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master yourself to create an alibi for showing you were at the Lilitaire that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a Okay. So the statue got there at a certain time. If the statue was in the background at that time, then he couldn't have been there because that's when Adrian was there. But if the statue is out of the way, I don't know. That feels right. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does the lie exist? The time. You gonna take 3 bars from me, dog? Fuck. I got it though. Dude, we're lucking out crazy right now. Naturally, the lie is in the photo in this timestamp. What do you mean? I'm telling you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Adney went to KP Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lord Taylor at this time. Hello, welcome to the stream. Okay. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Adney had already decided that on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Oh! So he never actually moved it. That makes more sense. Yes. He never actually moved it. He took a picture a while before. Because he sent this request out 20 days before, and then he sent the calling card 10 days later after those 20 days, or 20 days and then 10 days, and then he was there. Does that make sense? What the? Of course the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in the rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Look At Me had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had. Oh, okay. So he had already taken the photo, and then he came back and pushed it out of the way because it would have got him caught. Okay. So he did actually have to move it. Got you. Okay. He did it to make the room match the way he did, or the way it had been in his photo. Got you. Yeah, we got you, bro. I mean, Phoenix got you. I'm a little confused, I ain't gonna lie. But Phoenix got you. Order. Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lolitator staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Gotcha. Your data, but they put the camera there. Order, Mr. Godot. What is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. Talk to him. My 11th cup. I promise to drink no more than 17 during the trial, which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense is a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on the road of infinite points. I think he's got this points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. It's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. So Luke came there before the time of the murder, moved the statue, left. So the Lordly Taylor and KB Security can't be that far away then from each other for him to have pulled this off. Or this motherfucker got teleportation powers. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Got him. Yes, please provide the court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. The sacred urn heist. I first received the request from Lola Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Zahari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. It's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness? You're sure there are no mistakes this time? Zahari. Dude flexing is the one ring, like, I guess Kawhi, or not Kawhi, Kyrie Irving from those RDC memes. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Here we go. I first received the request from the Lola Taylor about 20 days ago. Okay. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed. It seemed that they had heard of my Zarkling reputation. Sparkling, I guess? Okay, it must be sparkling. I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. Dern was placed in the box, and Zari, it was then sent to the warehouse. Something's not right about this statement, bro. The urn was placed in a box, and Daria was sent to the warehouse. Why do I feel like it wasn't in a box when it got there? No, she dropped the box. Yeah, she dropped the box into the paint, and that's when it broke. And then when she opened the box, the pieces fell out into the paint. That's what she said, right? And he said he sent his calling card. My dog's freaking out. It's alright, Levi. Relax. To the security of Lola Taylor, I will be coming to Parlone the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasure of Crane exhibit. Take care of the speckled urn, won't you? But it wasn't really speckled, because the urn itself is like super plain. It doesn't have any value, but it had paint stains on it. I don't know. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. Okay, well, he knows that. I knew it was extremely valuable. No, you can't know that because it wasn't valuable. It wasn't a valuable treasure. Like, I'm pretty sure it was stated to be worth like $0 or something like that. There we go. Taking care of my pupper. There we go. I handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands the first time. I mean, that's an oddly convenient one. He couldn't have, I don't think he could have held it because it was broken. And if you look at that photo, in the photo, like I said before, in the photo, the box is untouched, right? Like, look at the box. The box has no paint stains. But there's still that angle in the ground that looks like that's where the box could have been dropped. So that's also confusing. See what I'm saying? This is on the ground when Adrian dropped the box 2 weeks ago. Also doesn't have the Sacred Urn picture on it. I don't know. But this doesn't make sense. Why would he I don't know. Why would he call it the speckled urn? I'm gonna save it. I'm just gonna use it and see what happens, bro. Did I just cook? I didn't want to go through the whole thing again because I'm pressed for time. Hopefully this is gonna go somewhere. Or is it gonna just give us another testimony or another statement? Mr. Atme, if you really are a Master Mass, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? Yeah. But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mass had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mass could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted urn on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains. And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to the lordly tailor. Right. So he knew it was going to be there. He knew it was coming, and he was going to come and steal it before they got to debut it. But before it got there, there were no pink stains on it. So how would he know about the pink stains? Unless... I don't know. I'm still a little confused, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. Yeah? And that's when the pink got on the urn, yep. You can't be serious. And yet, this calling card clearly mentions the pink paint pattern, which means Turnabout had seen this urn long before the crime took place. Right. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo was fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Ooh. Well, I mean, that's all we really needed, to be honest. So now we have to prove he has a motive, though. And I think the motive is probably going to be the blackmail letter, because that's got the red ring that I was talking about earlier in the stream. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright. That did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose, huh? It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mass, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? It's a good point. No, wait, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Look At Me was the one who killed Cain Bullard. And let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive, manifest? Nick, he's getting his second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rondelite, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Rondelite. That's true. Well, not really. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, this boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us on what that defendant's motives are. I'd be so honored to, Sir Oldtimer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. And the dead giveaway is on his hand right there. I Look At Me had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill King Bullard. Truly a tragedy. That shit don't make sense. So the victim, King Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. Okay, found in Ron Delight's room, written by Bullard. Okay. I thought we already had that, but okay. Very well, Mr. Wright, begin cross-examination. Well, we know what it is. I'm just gonna go to it. I mean, fuck it. It's not this one. No. Right, the blackmail letter. Because the letter can't be to... Here's my thing. The letter can't be to Ron Delight. It wouldn't make sense. Because of this right here. Ron Delight is working at KB Security at this point. So he couldn't have suspected him to be Master Mask. It doesn't make any sense. Ron Delight was working for them when Master Mask was running amok. There we go. Let me save. I forgot to save. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I can't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a long contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence to the content of the blackmail letter. Why would he blackmail Ron Delight, who works for him? Who was working for him when the whole thing started? It just doesn't make sense. Take a look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of Amanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is the jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. And who has a red diamond? Atme. Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Amanon the Master Mask stole at all. And your point is, Mr. Trine? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're truly trying to say, Mr. Trine? That is what you're trying to say, Mr. Wright? Or trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, is that what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who King Bullard was actually blackmailing. Fucking Luke at me. Come on, bro. Lock in. Get off me, bro. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for your claim? You have been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. In the last case, you recovered what was stolen, and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel. Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. Got him. That red diamond ring. Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch ass. Let's go. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that King Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Gotcha. You're hooked. Order in the court. Oh, shit. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that. Can't believe a black man look at me. Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up for him. Stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Okay? Is he going to say why would he go there as himself? Campbell threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity? Oh, shit. That's a good point. What was he trying? Yeah. What was he trying to prevent his from being revealed? Because it couldn't have been that he was No, he still thought he was Master Mask. He probably still thought he was Master Mask. Because Bowler didn't know who Master Mask was. Admi killed King Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? That is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atmey wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as... Well, Ron was receiving multiple blackmail letters, and I'm seeing a blackmailer at the bottom. Because he's not Master Mask, and he's known as an ace detective. So that's not anything. It's got to be the blackmailer part. Luke Atmey was a blackmailer. Objection. He's just like Red White. I was saying earlier that there's some similarities with that case. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that King Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. Are you saying that Luke Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. King Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron DeLite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yeah, we already got that confirmation in the courtroom to the judge and to Godot. Ron said he was receiving multiple blackmail letters. He said that during the trial. Yes, just a few days after the Terror at Evanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans, in which case, that would mean that Ron DeLite was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLite steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Because remember, they met each other in that photo. Shh, silence. Now I see it's all becoming clear. Yeah, I said it right. What is it? Or what is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... Got his ass. You say that Luke Atmey was blackmailing Ron DeLite. In which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron DeLite started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed this crime, that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron DeLite was Master Mask? The newspaper clip. He must have actually saw him switch clothes because he said that he switched and he didn't think he was spotted. But Luke got them big ass magnifying glasses, so he probably did see him. We're gonna go with that. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. He gets in a lot of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? I like that clapback, Phoenix. Good job. This newspaper clipping. and has a picture of you and Ron DeLite in this guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just appear in thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true, correct? With tricks like that, you couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron DeLite. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just simply a slimy blackletter. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as the ace detective. Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Why? I mean, I never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? How dare you even dare? I can't even read that. I see the words, but they're all connected, so it's making it very difficult to read. Did he just tell me to goon? You saw that? What is wrong with this guy? It's enough to make me laugh? What? Motherfucker tripping. It would seem we finally arrived to the real answer. That was quite a performance by Atme. Bailiff, please prepare yourself for Atme. Aw, fuck, here we go. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one more thing. I will be the judge, or the one to judge. Whoops. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. I don't even know if Phoenix said. I kind of skipped it. It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Look At Me was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lolita the night of the murder. Okay, that's right. That's why he was the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because it wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean you have the true murder scene, or he was at the murder scene. Why did I even read it like that? I'm tired. That's what it is. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KP Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. That's fair. No, I'm not mad at him for that one. Order in the courtroom. Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. We got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullett's office on the night. But can you really prove that? Long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer. The night Lou got me was at KP Security the defense. No, we can't prove that. Because the only person who saw him, quote unquote, got knocked out. The security guard wasn't there. We don't have the footage. We can't prove that he was there, really. We can prove that he wasn't at the warehouse. But that's it. I can't prove it. Now, if I have to restart this whole thing, I'm ending the stream. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Abby's testimony, unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trank. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. Well, now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. What are you talking about? I am the detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron DeLite will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order, order in the court. It's enough deliberation over this witness. Can't believe this, and this way Ron is, don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can always look for more evidence, and by then it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy. Should the defendant be tried and found innocent, the defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Samuel was found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as matched to match, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of King Bullard is concerned. No way. The fact that you were able to prove Mr. Amy's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as King Bullard's murderer. Come on, Phoenix. Now, there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, look at me, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Buddy, you gotta object. Say something. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look at Me. Who the fuck was that? I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice. No way. Oh, shit. She went Super Saiyan. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia. This is the true power of the current channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me. Right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't promise it. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Well, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well, now, Sir Larry, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. And the ace detective, and yeah, got you. So we're going to press him on that. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance once so very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? I mean, she kind of cooking right now, bro. I think she's right. Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, so Laurie, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at me. Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks, so then let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. And maybe he's not so bad after all. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Look at Me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. This should be it right here. It's got to be the last thing, the last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not at the Lolitaire. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. But my brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron DeLight. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left fingerprints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no fingerprints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Die. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Well, that last statement is most certainly wrong. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witnesses' earlier remarks, he's fucking up my dialect now, do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atme's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec, just one chance? It seems that the party is about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts what that testimony is. So it would seem. What do you mean? So it would seem. Listen, Phoenix. Once you got contradictions, doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? That's true. At any rate, this is our last chance. You can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Okay, well, it's time to fucking save so you don't fucking make me restart the whole thing. Okay. Who keeps refilling his cup, bro? Cup 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has finally come to an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means that all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. I think it's the last statement, because not all of the evidence points towards him. Very well, you may begin cross-examination. Let's go to the very end. I saved, so I should be straight. Bro. This man got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm just glad my friend isn't here to hear me say that. But we're good. We're locked in. Okay. Mr. Atme, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Trent? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on very little statement. Every little statement. What? I said this before. There's still one thing you haven't proven. That this scum was in King Bullet's office that night. And now, it's time for me to drink my last cup. Mr. Wright? God damn. It's enough. This court sees no reason. What? It's extremely clear I have no room for interpretation of facts. The court found. Damn. I lost? Oh shit. Okay. Good thing I saved. I think I picked the wrong statement. We're good. We're good. I picked the wrong statement. We're good. Was it not 9 statements? Nah, it had to be more than 9 then. I thought the last one was the one I had to press. Hold on. Well, it's actually 11 of them. Okay. I don't know about that. I feel like the last one was right, but okay. Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he had left no fingerprints. This is probably the worst one, then. Because everything else he said, yeah, there's evidence that he could have gotten because he's a detective. But this part here, we didn't know until the trial happened.
Objection.
I lost again? No fucking way. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it. Okay, so he's responding like this. I didn't get it wrong again. I thought I got it wrong again, bro. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolute foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did you learn the fact that Rhonda Light was dressed in the Master Mask costume when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago, back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Yep. He said it during the trial. It was the only time he brought the information out. This only time. That was the first time we all heard about it too. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this, are those who were watching this trial. And you couldn't have been watching the trial because you were in your own trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There's no way that you should have known about that. And we didn't bring it up this whole time he's been testifying either. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. But then enlighten us, just how did you know about this piece of information?
Objection.
Come now, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And those chances, I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one way, you say? Please recall, if you will, my Mr. Light's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Light never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. Well, Luke Atme saw him. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Light saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Rhonda Light. Yep, impossible. Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed King Bullard and assaulted Rhonda Light. That was the only way you could have known what Rhonda Light was wearing. Fucking earthquake? What the fuck? Is he growing? This motherfucker has officially lost it. Take a good look, everyone. Able to find a rival worthy of my genius, I will force myself to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. It's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. E-fall. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Buller was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron DeLight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron DeLight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we've finally found the truth. Excuse me, who's trying to talk? I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me. Didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict, I know. You never committed any murder, that's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask, huh? So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for the same crime in which he was found innocent of. Then Master Mask is really innocent. It would seem so, for now. For now. Yeah, we kind of proved that he couldn't have been Master Mask, even though he is. He was found not guilty. And then he can't be tried again for it. And he just proved that he didn't do the murder either. So he's good. Now then, this court finds the defendant. We did it. Holy shit. Well, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, hell yeah. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the current channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Yeah. Mr. Wright, I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that... Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything, huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all my money she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. It's not true, right, Nick? Right? Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick... I skipped the dialogue, Bastin. I kind of wish you would check in with me first. Mrs. Like, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Bro, what the fuck? You want me to present something? What the hell am I supposed to present? I always get these wrong. Is it the urn because it's talking about a broken bowl? The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KP Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come now, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way I could ever get away. Or could ever get away. That's a nice little twist. That was cute. But didn't you say you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew it was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi, this is so sweet. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy, yes. I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face getting red. Mr. Nick, Mr. Maya, congratulations. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? Damn. Oh, no, I'll never forgive you. Never. She's slapping him for blushing. Just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. That's it. What the fuck is this? Is she a maid now? Alright, we'll get to the third one next time. Thanks for watching. Time for me to go watch a movie.